Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on cryptocurrency every day. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to update you on the latest altcoin news involving Thorchain, involving Binance, involving Polygon, involving Aave and Ethereum, and much, much more. So, like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description. And let's jump in, starting with Bitcoin. It is no secret that the markets are looking weak right now. We've been trading sideways for months, Bitcoin ranging in between that $31,000 to $34,000 price range, and volume, on-exchange volume, is very low right now. As smart, long-term cryptocurrency investors, we should be prepared for anything in the short term. We discussed this heavily in yesterday's video, Crypto Capitulation is Coming, Why I'm Not Selling, as well as a few other select videos in these last few weeks. But thinking long-term, there's a few specific charts I think you need to see. Number one, let's look at the on-chain volume for Bitcoin. This is a chart I shared with you a few weeks ago. I promised you an update. Here it is. And this is showing us the raw, unbiased volume on the blockchain. So not the volume from centralized exchanges, which can be manipulated, just what's happening on the public blockchain. Bitcoin is currently trading near the lows of a significant on-chain volume node, which I'll show you in a second, but basically trading between the prices of a $31,000 and a $34.3 thousand BTC. Between this price range, over 1.86 million Bitcoin have been transacted on-chain, equivalent to 9.93% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. This is now convincingly the largest realized volume cluster since a 12K Bitcoin. So what does this mean to you as a Bitcoin investor? Here's the chart. This is the on-chain volume for Bitcoin, and this was the on-chain volume node, basically meaning a cluster of on-chain activity, which we're forming a very nice support at these price levels. This is much more significant than when I showed you this chart a few weeks ago. The on-chain volume node has grown much bigger, and that's bullish. Any form of support, fundamentally, that we can find on-chain is bullish, and we've gained the support because we've been trending in this price range for so long. Now, this is just one metric of many on-chain fundamental metrics that I like to keep tabs on. And it should be noted that support can turn into resistance, and resistance can turn into support, depending on which side of the trend line you're on. Right now it's support. If we were to fall below it, it would become resistance, by definition. And looking below that, we don't have a lot of on-chain support below 30K until you get to about $18,000. We do have some at 23, some at 26, but nothing compared to what we are forming now. What this means to me, and I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just sharing my journey through these videos. Please do your own research, do what works for you. But if we were to take a dip below these price levels, it could potentially be a nasty dip because we don't have that much support to fall back on. If the bulls, on the other hand, can stay strong against the bears in these next couple weeks, the support building from this on-chain volume only gets stronger. Nobody knows what the price of Bitcoin will do in the short term, but as a smart investor, it's always good to be prepared for all possibilities. I do want to encourage you to think long term though, because yes, Bitcoin is down today, but Bitcoin was worth only $9,156 on this day last year, meaning if you held long enough, if you thought long term, you're up. Now, we could do this all day with the crypto market. Ethereum was only worth $235 on this day last year. Dogecoin was only worth a third of a penny on this day last year. The point is, think long-term, think big picture. Now, Dogecoin, no guarantee. Dogecoin might be back to these prices next year. I'm not a big believer in Doge, but I am a big believer in Bitcoin and ETH. But moving forward, this is one of the absolute best charts on cryptocurrency that I need to show you. This is Bitcoin compared to the adoption curves of other industries. It's still so early. So here it is. This chart really puts things into perspective. This is the adoption of technology in the US from 1900 to present. So over the last 100 plus years, we can see the percent adoption rates of the telephone, TV, video games, credit cards, internet, smartphone. And I will link this down below for you to check out this chart for yourself. And we can see these adoption curves growing faster as the world gets more digital. Well, comparing all of this to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's here. Less than 10% of the population owns Bitcoin. That's how early we are. Can you imagine, even if it takes 5 to 10 years, if we only get to 20% or 40% adoption of Bitcoin, where will the price be then? Something to consider. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Think long term. Think long term. That's the point. But let's keep moving. Let's get to the latest news involving altcoins. Thorchain is tapping its treasury to repay $5 million in Ethereum after an attack. So an attack on Thorchain scorched its Ethereum liquidity providers. The Thorchain team says the protocol's treasury will cover affected users. So this is very interesting to see. As a reminder, Thorchain is a protocol for cross-blockchain swaps. Different blockchains can communicate with one another, and its bridge to Ethereum took a hit. Basically, there was an attack, and this was Thorchain's quote about that. The only entity that will wear the burden will be the Thorchain treasury. Approximately $5 million will be used to donate to the Ethereum LPs, which lost their money. So if you like Thorchain, you like this, that's pretty nice to see. And I thought this was interesting from the Thorchain devs. The Thorchain devs seemed pretty unfazed, saying this is precisely why it has its treasury in place. It's all just part of its chaos net, which went live in mid-April. The multi-chain chaos net, or MCCN for short, allows people to swap assets across 5 different blockchains: Binance Chain, Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So the protocol is still very new, just a word of warning for all these cryptocurrencies, but that's why they say they have their treasury in place for circumstances, for hacks like this. In a direct quote, "This is a disappointing moment for all, but LPs and nodes should be unaffected after all is recovered. The funds will be restored, and because of this, the network will be stronger and more resilient." The growing pains of a new cryptocurrency, but good to see Thorchain taking care of their own. I'll keep you updated. Next up, let's talk about Binance. Binance has stated it will no longer offer trading of stock tokens effective immediately. So for these last several months, you were able to trade tokenized versions of Tesla, of Coinbase stock, of MicroStrategy, of Apple, of Google, but now they're ceasing their stock token trading offerings. The move obviously comes as several regulators, including those recently from Germany and Hong Kong, have warned about the offering. Here are the details. Existing stock token holders should sell their holdings before October 14th. If they don't sell by that date, their stock token positions will be closed automatically on the 15th. And Binance actually made this announcement right before Hong Kong issued a warning. The news came a few hours ahead of the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission SFC's warning on Friday that said Binance is not licensed to conduct this regulated activity. The SFC warns that where stock tokens are securities, marketing and or distribution of such tokens, whether in Hong Kong or targeting Hong Kong investors, constitute a regulated activity and require a license from the SFC unless an application exemption applies. So Hong Kong put Binance on notice. Other notices, like from Germany, obviously from the United States, have put Binance on notice, and they're ceasing operations of stock tokens. Next piece of news for all Polygon Matic holders: Dolce & Gabbana to launch NFT wearables using the Polygon blockchain. Dolce & Gabbana have partnered with digital marketplace UNXD to launch a collection of NFT wearables called the Genesis Collection. So that's pretty much the news. You can go on their Twitter, find out more information. But the big news is this will be on Polygon, and this will be NFT wearables. So there will be a physical component as well as a digital component to these NFTs. Pretty cool. Next piece of news for all Aave holders: the Aave founder hints at developing a Twitter on Ethereum shortly after Jack Dorsey announced that he would be building an Aave-type platform on Bitcoin. So a little tit for tat, and Aave might be building a decentralized Twitter. Aave founder Stanley K announced on Twitter that his platform should build a Twitter on Ethereum after Jack Dorsey said he was developing a new Bitcoin-centric financial services platform with striking similarities to Aave. And now the race is on. Here is that exact tweet from Jack. Square is creating a new business, joining Seller, Cash App, and Tidal, focusing on building an open developer platform with the sole goal of making it easy to create non-custodial, permissionless, and decentralized financial services. Our primary focus is Bitcoin, the name to be determined. Now, we clued you in. This was part of our news update the day this happened. But the Aave founder was basically saying, hey, we've already got that on Ethereum with Aave. It's going to be an interesting next decade to see which of these platforms win out, who gets the adoption, who gets the people. Give me your thoughts down below. That is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Appreciate you.